And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 67, your weekly dose of open StarCraft. I'm of course your host, VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Bienvenidos, papi, bienvenidos. And also a big shout out to Rowdy in the chat. Rowdy. Ay. Thank you so much for subscribing for 30 months in a row. Show feet. You're an animal. you're Rowdy. Yeah. Good to see you, baby. Good to see you. Welcome. As we are jumping into a live broadcast, it's been a while. It's been a couple of days. It's been like a week. Again, we've been stuck with a lot of replay casts as of late, but now we're jumping into a live broadcast of the PiGosaur Cup. Exclamation mark B in the chat. If you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, the bracket is live. The bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into the round of 32 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the teal Protoss player. It is Octomologist. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran for Xeratus Esports. It is Universe. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our initial best of 3. Round of 32. Let's go. Let us go. When it comes to the rest of the bracket, we'll be getting into it. We'll be getting into the rest of the bracket momentarily after this series does conclude. Until then, we are jumping on in. And it's great to see Universe return. For those that are curious, Universe, he's a Korean Terran player, and he did retire. Why did he retire? He went to the military. Went to the military quite some time ago, and he only recently, as of like 2 weeks ago, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, Universe did return from the military. He is back from his service, and he is playing again. He's playing, he's competing. He just joined Xeratus Esports a couple of days ago. It was just announced. So great to see his return, and you will see how hard or how far Universe can kind of thrive. For those that are unaware, at least a couple of years ago when he was competing, Universe, he was one of the more up-and-coming players. He was a little bit more amateurish in Masters, GM. I would say a level below Genio, for example, like Genio, Honmono, Quanta, Percival. Those are like the kind of like Code A Korean Terrans. Universe was just below them. But he was still like actively competing on a regular basis, and he was also hosting his own show matches. If you recall, you were hosting the Universe show matches. That was again like 2-3 years ago. Jesus. But here we go. We're here. We are back, and we'll see how he compares to Octomologist. We'll see. Let's go. As the initial Reaper does dip into the main. Does dip in. It was a double gas opener out of Universe, going for a faster factory. Heavier tech start here out of our Terran player. Going for a heavier tech opener. Oh, speaking of heavier tech, so Reaper into Reactor into Tech Lab. We're not going into Reactor Reaper Hellion. It looks like we're going into an earlier Cyclone instead. So second production has begun. From here, we can go into an earlier Medevac, an earlier drop. We'll see how Universe sells pieces all together. We can see it's not going to be a one-way soul in. The CC's on the way in the main. Probe was just sniped, but I believe the Octomologist did scout everything he needed to. Yep, he saw the factory and he saw the CC. He knows. Octomologist, he has seen everything he needs to. Is fully aware. Oh. So Reaper is going to be zoned away. Again, trying to get a scout off. Stalkers are in position. Oh, one more. Yeah, one more shot does go down. Nice pick off here by Octomologist. Universe, he sees nothing. We can see, of course, it is a Twilight Council opener. Twilight Council into Blink, a more versatile kind of and standard follow-up here out of Octomologist. The question becomes, how many gateways, how many gases are we going to take as well? Do we go 2-gate Blink, 3-gate, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? Now, I would say, especially on Ruby Rock, it is safer and it is more advised to go for a higher gateway count just because of the shorter rush distance by ground. And there's a higher chance the Universe does push. What do you see here? Tank production. Cyclone into tank, into Medevac. We might just rally across the map with a Viking follow-up here into a borderline all-in. We'll see how committed the Universe is going to be, but again, we're expecting more tanks and potentially a Viking. As it's still kind of piecing this all together. First tank to siege. There's the second tank. It was a bit of a later second tank. We had some disrupted gas mining. We can see why. Only 2 in gas here in the main base, so that's why we were missing gases. So gas was missing. Universe does move out. Again, typically with this, you do rally a Viking to support, but there's no Viking production here with that starport. Okay, so this is committed, but this is a bit of a shaky execution when it comes to the build. So a little bit shaky here. Again, delayed second tank. Delayed move outs. Oh, does get on top of one of those stalkers. Lock-on is going to bring one of them down. Oh, he wants, oh, two stalkers. Full miscontrol there out of Octomologist. Yeah, it does go too far in. Bleeds out two stalkers. Blink just now finishing up. And he needs that tank. Nice we go. Gets a Cyclone. Cyclone goes down. Doesn't avoid the tank shots. Observer gets spotted. And we have to buy time for more warpins. More warpins, more stalkers. Second tank is almost here. Oh, second tank may just rally into the stalkers though. Miss rally. Oh, Jesus. Okay, does pivot back around. The tank is repositioning, getting within range of the gateway. He's now within range. We have to dive in the summary before the second tank arrives, and he does dive. He gets one. Yeah, gets one of the tanks. Pulls back and should get the other tank as well. Oh, the medevac. Oh my god, hot pick up. Whew. Medevac barely does save. Octomologist, where are the warpins? Where are the warpins, by the way? Where are the oh, late warpins. Late warpins here out of Octomologist. His macro is slipping. His macro is slipping. We mule that tank. Tank is going to be repaired. Pylon goes down. Did he go 2-gate? He did. Yeah, he went 2-gate, blink into a third. So we just spoke about how you don't want to go. You want to go for a higher gateway count. He went for a lower gate count. He gets caught out. Voids are being pulled. Massive tank shots, but the tank will go down. Just barely. Oh, boogie the mast. Oh my god, just barely goes down. There's still Marines left over, and this is too much. Yeah, too much damage. Octomologist was just too greedy. Too greedy. Did lapse when it came to his macro as well. He had the tools to defend. But he's lost so much. Does get that tank though. Does focus on the tank. Bearing in mind the universe has a massive worker advantage here. 50 SCVs to the 30 probes of Octomologist. Third TCs on the way. Universe, he has done enough damage. Did enough damage. Again, Octomologist had the tools to defend, but again, the execution was lacking when it came to the warpins, the reinforcements, the lack of extra gateways. The gateways came up much later as we just had a greedier build. Oh, and Octomologist out of position. The Liberators have arrived. We got the freedom. We got the freedom. As mining's being designed at the third base, meanwhile repositioning here at the natural, even towards the main. Octomologist does clean up one of the Liberators at least. The other still denying mining. Universe is claiming his third. Stim is now done. So with Stim, Universe should be able to establish his third base, zone this away. His army was out of position. So he bleeds out a couple of units, a couple of SCVs. And technically, there's nothing really pressuring Universe. Like, he doesn't have to move out. Doesn't have to push. He can just chill. He can just chill back home, set up his third base, get a fourth CC, getting some more Liberators, second star ports, greater upgrades. The pressure instead is on Octomologist to recover, to take more expansions, and to try to harass and deal some kind of counter damage. Now, the one advantage that Octomologist has is the upgrades. The E-bays are late. These are late E-bays here at the Universe, so late E-bays, late upgrades. That is something going the Protoss' way. Meanwhile, double drop on the right-hand side. Octomologist does find a couple of naked tanks. And he gets one. Gets one tank at the same time. Ooh, no shield battery! Yeah, there's no batteries here. Alas, Universe does not dive. Yeah, he doesn't dive in. Gets both sentries at least. Double drop into the main. There is no refill available, at least on the main. And it's getting out of hand. Depowers all the gateways. Artosis pylon goes down. The Zealots are stuck in a choke point. They cannot engage. Drop back in was deflected. And Universe just pulling Octomologist apart. Chasing out the final Colossus. The shield battery does keep it alive, just barely. The MVP battery. And Universe just chilling, getting more axes. We have a 4th CC on the way. Again, as I mentioned before, there's just no pressure. There's no pressure on the Terran. So Universe can just chill, get more bases, look to max out. Can settle in, baby. Yo, meanwhile, big shout to Comrade in the chat. God, baby. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, it's duck time. It's time to quack. Thank you so much for subscribing once again with Twitch Prime for 17 months. 17 months back. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. As Universe is pushing. He's pushing, he's committing. This time moving out with almost everything. And we'll see if Octomologist can survive this. He's got 2 Colossus, which is nice. There are no Vikings. That's also nice. No Viking production. But University just sort of steps in. Yeah, there's just no buffer. There's no buffer. There's no support for the Colossus. They're exposed. They're naked. Oh, 1 Colossus goes down. There's 1 left. Universe does try to bait the army out. Takes down both pylons, ensuring there's no more Colossi. See the rollers. He wants to dive in, but doesn't really have enough. Up! 1 more volley. He gets it. Oh my god. Barely takes down the Colossus. And here comes the F2. We can just rally everything. And with that Universe, he is back from military and he's looking to take a lead in the series. We're going to take it game 1. Bearing in mind it's still a best of 3, so we still have more games ahead of us. But GG gets called, and Universe, he takes that lead, takes the first game, is up 1-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Octomologist had the tools to defend, unfortunately did cut some corners. We did emphasize how, especially on Ruby Rock, it is advised to go for a higher gateway count to cut less corners and to be a little bit safer, but he went 2 gate blink. He went 2 gate blink into a 3rd base, so he had the bare minimum to defend. Even then, we saw just lack of warp-ins, lack of macro. We did have some nice engagements, but the reinforcements were lacking, the macro was lacking. As a result, could not keep up, could not defend. GG. GG, well played. With that, Universe takes a lead in the series. Now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Old Republic. Okay. Going to be loading into the Old Republic here. After this series, and assuming that we go to the ace match, of course, but once we wrap up the series, then we can discuss the bracket itself. We'll be able to go over it. We'll get there. We'll get there. We will get there. For now, though, we are going to be loading into a larger map. True. Larger map of the map, longer rush distance by grounds. Much more defendable early on 3 bases. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the Teal Protoss player. The Teal Protoss himself. It is Octomologist. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. As when we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Red Terran. The Red Terran himself, representing Xerxes Esports. It is a Universe. Here we go. What is an Octomologist? Like, as in, is this like a study of the month of October? Like, what's going what's going on? I'm curious where the ID comes from. That's what perplexes me a little bit. What's going on? What's going on? Study of octopus? Maybe. Just of octagonal shapes. There's sometimes some IDs like this that are it's interesting. Hey, it's more interesting than like Nest T or something, right? True. Where are we at? As once again, Universe is going double gas. Once again, I will say that coming into this game, there's a higher chance that Octomologist would be able to get away with a more greedier build and cut some corners. But after what happened last game, he might be feeling a little bit less safe to do so. Like, this is where mind games come into play. But I would expect to see something more economic. Just 2 gate blink into a 3rd base would make sense. Hello. As I believe we should be hiding this probe to go in for a secondary scout. We'll see. Meanwhile, there's that faster factory. Again, double gas opener. Faster factory. Universe is scouting it nearby, checking for proxy locations. Meanwhile, Octomologist will be able to go back in. Does back in. Is denied. And so far, same build. To be honest, it is the same build here, and it makes sense. Like, if Universe has been gone for an extended period of time and just now coming back, the likelihood of Universe having multiple builds available is very low. So there's a chance that we just go for the same opener, like Cyclone into first tank, into second tank, into medevac, into rally across the map, into like a borderline all-in. I will say that this build is weaker on the Old Republic, so that is going to be hurting Universe, but we'll see if he goes for it. We'll see if he deviates. Because so far, same build. So far. It might be the only build he knows in TvP right now. Like, it's it's possible. It's possible. He has not been back long. And already we have a safer build. We have 2 gates on the way here at the natural, 1 gate in the main, so 3-gate blink this time. So a much safer opener, a much more safer build here out of Octomologist. Opening up 3-gate blink, safety shield battery. And this time we'll be delaying his 3rd. Meanwhile, yep, Cyclone into tank. So far, it does look like the exact same build. Hallucination goes in, confirms the 1-1-1. Confirms the tech lab on the factory, confirms no add-on swap. And soon Universe will move out. This time he actually has 3 and 3 in gas, so this time his second tank is not delayed. So even though this build should be weaker on this map, the execution and the build itself is more refined. It is a little bit of a better execution here by Universe. He has more efficient mining. He has just a tighter timing here. He's moving out. Meanwhile, Octomologist delays his 3rd base a little bit further, going for a Robo and a Forge. But he has to engage. He does fail to spot the move out. Uh-oh. Ideally, you do want to engage ahead of time to slow this down. There we go. Does spot the move out. He knows. Army's getting in position. Ideally, Octomologist wants to force an early siege. Big is almost done. Does pull away. Breaks a lock on. Sentry does go down. He has blink. Oh, not yet. Just not finishing up. Tank is exposed. Ooh, the tank does siege. Tank sieges up. Where's the warp in? Ooh, he's lacking gases. He didn't pull in. Oh, no. Yeah, dives on the first tank, but this might just be game. Here, his second gas. He has no mining here in gas, so he cannot warp in Stalkers. That's why he's warping in Zealots. Ah, so he messed up. Yeah, he messed up here at the natural. That's why you can see he has 300. He has 600 minerals, but he has no gas. He can't warp in. No. He's missing the gases, Fab. Yeah. Again, this should have been a cleaner defense out of Octomologist, but again, no warp-ins, no reinforcements, or late warp-ins, late reinforcements. The macro did slip. And Universe has broken the 3rd and even broken the main. Cybercore goes down, the gateway goes down. Ay. And with that Universe, he's going to be snowballing out of control. Breaks through the Zealots. Again, charge is not yet done. And once charge finishes, I believe Octomologist will be able to clean this up. He should be able to shut this down. But again, the damage is brutal. And back at home, Universe should be expanding. He's getting his CC on location, which is a little bit greedy. Yep, here comes charge. Cleans up the army. University has to buy time. Otherwise, he will be forced to cancel. Now pulling into gas. Oh, no shot. Jeez. Literally achieving so much.
All hands to battle stations.
You know, we have a scan of the main base. Not really getting eyes on too much, or at least confirming there's no Bay, there's no Colossus production, for example. Octomologist has to make a choice. Either go for an all-in or try to macro out of this. And we have the answer. He's going to try to macro. Octomologist is behind. There's a study of the number 8s or octopus or octagons or whatever. Should be octology. True, true. Oh, I mean, octology would be, I guess, would be the study of it, right? And the octomologist would be like the profession itself. Maybe it's the study of octans. The Versace rats. Maybe. Shop is cleaned up. So we go. So University does break out. When it comes to the main armies here, I believe there should be one Colossus. There's going to be one Colossus to defend. One Colossus. There's going to be a couple of force fields available as well to try to slow this down. But the numbers just are not there. Not for the Protoss. Zealot run by will catch some reinforcements, but not enough Zealots. Prism into the main base. At the same time, here comes the main army. And again, there's no splash damage. The Colossus just now coming in. Oh my god. Widow Mines trying to cause a bit of pretty friendly fire. At least Octomologist is hoping for that, but doesn't have enough. Yeah, the army sims in. The Colossus is exposed. Colossus goes down, and there's nothing left. There's nothing left. The Zealots across the map, they're being cleaned up as well. They're doing what they can, but there's only 2 Zealots left. GG gets called, and Universe will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the round of 16. GG. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to Universe for claiming this series, and my condolences to Octomologist. I will say that both Game 1 and Game 2, there was potential for a defense. Game 2 was a little bit shakier. Game 1, he had a greedier build and was cutting corners and was punished for it. Here in Game 2, we saw that Octomologist was late to pull into a second gas, so he was lacking gas, which means he actually couldn't warp in Stalkers. He was stuck warping in slow lots to reinforce his army. So unfortunately, just a little bit of a lapse of macro, a little bit of a lapse of attention to the economy, and alas, did result in a loss there. GG. GG, well played. Was close though. Was close. Can definitely see a world where Octomologist can tighten up their play and actually pull off the defense and allow for the game to progress from there. But GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Universe. And now let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Let us go. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look back yourself.